Hey guys, what's going on? I thought I'd do a very quick video about a webinar that's coming up on Thursday, the 18th of January, so a couple of days from now if you're watching this when it's published on the 16th of January. This link probably won't work after the next couple of days. However, I think there's still some valuable information in this video that you might want to watch. So I'll leave the link to this webinar registration page in the description below. You just go here and click register here and basically fill out your information. It's basically with Marcus Heitkotter. So you guys that know who Marcus is, he is the founder of Rockwell Trading. It's an Austin-based company. It's just down the road from me. I've actually done a webinar with Marcus probably a year ago now. Really nice guy. He does a lot of option selling, so selling options to collect a premium. And he's well known for doing the wheel strategy and his proprietary software called the PowerX Optimizer. And so it's going to be interesting to see what he has to say. He's got a special guest. I'm curious to see who that is. I'll definitely be going to this live training. So make sure you sign up for this. There's a link in the description. It's on Thursday, so definitely check that out, because I think really, like he says here, it's a new year and it's a good time to start thinking about new passive income streams. And I think a lot of traders lose track of what passive actually is, right? So, you can trade and make money, but it's not always easy. It can be a very hard way to make easy money, right? So, for example, you could spend all day in front of your 10 screens while you trade like a crackhead day trader, and you're taking like trades on 5 different time frames simultaneously, sweating profusely as you whack buttons and exit trades. And sure, you might end the day $200 up, $500 up, or like even $1,000 plus up, but there's a good chance you'll give it all back the next day and you'll put in the same amount of work. I don't know I really don't know very many successful day traders. So it certainly isn't passive, right? So even if it works, even if you get a strategy that works and you spend 4 hours or 6 hours during the market times, just, day trading like a crackhead, and then that really is a lot of work. So if you don't have a lot of capital, you're just really getting yourself a really, really stressful job, and you're not getting any of the benefits of what trading is supposed to give you. So you're supposed to get financial freedom from trading, right? So you're supposed to be able to spend more time with your family, have more leisure time, not have a boss, it's just kind of get away from some of these things. You're supposed to be able to spend just a few minutes a day and have the rest of the time to do whatever you like. So things like going to soccer games, like Marcus says here, parties, weddings, recitals. Basically choose your own life. Like, it gives you that freedom. And most day traders don't have that freedom because they have to keep an eye on their trades, or they're frantically trading on the 1 minute time frame or less sometimes. And so I was lucky enough to be able to get this freedom a few years ago, not just from trading but from other businesses as well. And I can basically, I don't need to have an alarm clock. I think he says in here somewhere that you want to get to the point where you don't need to set an alarm clock and all that stuff. And it's definitely possible. And so I'm really excited to see the 5 different ways that he has in this webinar. It's aimed at people like burned out doctors and lawyers and dentists and surgeons. I know quite a few of those that are just like, oh, this is so stressful. So the idea is to try and come up with trading mechanisms that can help you escape your full-time job or just make more income on top of it, but passively. So what does it mean really to trade passively? Well, like I said, selling options for premium is one of the top ways to do that. And so I just published an article, or updated at least, the top 5 options alert services for traders. I'm going to put a link to this article in the description below as well, because in here are pretty much all the ways that I use and that you can use to be semi-passive. Nothing's completely passive. Obviously, you have to actually do stuff, right? You can't just do nothing. But you don't want to be doing day trading for a start. That's not passive at all. So I wanted to highlight Theta Traders. This is one of the most passive services I've been lucky enough to be part of. And so it's run by Lance, and basically we're selling options 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out. So it literally takes 2 or 3 minutes to find the option. You put in the order and then you just forget about it. And a few weeks later, the hope is, and 99% of the time, or 100% of the time for me at least so far, you make some decent money, some few $100s or more, depending on what you're doing. And this is a really cool way to trade. It's probably the closest to passive income you can get, without having to develop a huge skill set first. So you can develop passive income in other ways. For example, you can build a business and then sell it, or at least, not sell it, but hire people to run it for you, and that can be very passive. But it takes a lot more time and effort to be able to do that than it does to do something like selling options for passive income with theta traders. So selling options is definitely good. Same day might be a little more stressful, so like you could sell 0DTE, it might be a bit more stressful. It's not as passive maybe. Passive, I would say, would be like 2 or 3 minutes every month. That's passive to me. So this has been fantastic for me, so definitely come and check this one out. The other trades in here are also fairly passive, not as passive as selling options, but a bit closer. So you want to be swing trading, right? You don't want to be having to day trade all day. You want to take trades that you put on and then just set a sell limit, for when it hits a certain price target. And so one of the top ones this year that I've been really loving is Nate Bear's Profit Surge Trader, and it's right here. Nate's awesome. He turned 37k into 2.7 million in 4 years trading. Basically taking swing trades with options. So placing a trade and then waiting like 3 or 4 days, maybe a week. So not quite as passive and a little bit more nerve-wracking, I would say, than the theta traders approach, for example, but with the potential for higher profits. So there's obviously that trade-off on the buy side as well. So I really like the service. And of course, if you're part of a service, it takes out all the work. You don't have to go and research. You don't have to do all that stuff that goes behind this because it's done for you. So basically, trade alert services contribute to making trading more passive. So that's really what we want. I've always kind of balked at the word passive a little bit because passive isn't like a much of a go-getter kind of mentality, which you need to have still. So I'd say like recurring income or easy money, I don't know, would be a better way to describe these types of things. So the services in here generally are quite passive. Jeff Bishop's, this one's become a little less passive. Really, it's taken off on Monday mornings really quickly, so it's more of like a scalp, which is not that passive, especially if you have to watch it for the first hour. But hey, if you can make money in it the first hour of the day, it's still a good way to make money. So yeah. Anyway, make sure you come to the webinar. I'm going to be there. I'll put links to everything we've talked about, including the registration page here, in the description below. And I'll talk to you guys soon.